Top touchdown scorer, Davante Adams. Next best, tight end Travis Kelce. Even though he is a tight end, you have to consider him a wide receiver at this point because, like, look at his numbers. I mean, he played every single game last year, had 152 targets, 110 receptions, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. So that's second best in the league in touchdowns out of everybody. Always a good guy to look for. If you slip into the third round or even second round, that's a win for you because you just got a heck of a player. George Kittle had 11 touchdowns, which is actually, that is very surprising to me. Out of the top 5 guys at least, he played the least games, tied for third in touchdowns, which is pretty impressive and shows how much they were utilizing him. Next surprise has to be Ja'Marr Chase. He had 9 touchdowns in 12 games. I mean, think about if he had actually played all 17. He played 5 less than Justin Jefferson and had 1 more touchdown than him. So that just shows how well he did last year and how much better he could have done. DK, I think, is the biggest, not flop, because, I mean, if you're looking at his stats, look, he had 140 targets, 90 receptions, and he played all 17 games, but not getting the touchdowns, that's kind of a problem. Tyler Lockett to have more than him. It just shows how resilient Tyler Lockett has been and how always undervalued he is. He finished as the 6th best wide receiver in touchdowns last year, and he was going off the draft board in the 10th round. Don't sleep on Tyler Lockett. That's all I gotta say. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 6. That's actually surprising. There was a stat that actually had him finishing this season with 4 plays where he finished on the 1-yard line, and so he was 1 yard away from getting a touchdown. So this number could have easily been 10 touchdowns. So if he would have managed to get those 4 touchdowns, he would have been a top 5 wide receiver in the category of touchdowns. The other interesting one, I guess, is Jerick McKinnon. Apparently, Kansas City might not even bring back, but he was on a roll last year. He broke the NFL record for most consecutive receiving touchdowns by a running back. In 6 games, he had 6 receiving touchdowns, which is just ridiculous. Even to have 56 receptions, that's really good. I think it'd be crazy to give up a guy like Jerick McKinnon, especially with how productive he's been with the team. So I think that's an interesting stat for sure. Pat Freiermuth only having 2 touchdowns is a little bit disappointing, especially for how well he did with his receptions and yards. Those are really good stats, especially for a Steelers tight end. I think he might have better chemistry with Kenny Pickett at this point than Kenny Pickett does with Deontay. Travis Etienne. Wait, what? How did he not have a receiving touchdown? That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm just very surprised that Travis Etienne didn't have a receiving touchdown. I'm very surprised Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs didn't have receiving touchdowns. 53 receptions, 0 touchdowns. 57 receptions, 0 touchdowns. 86 receptions, 0 touchdowns. Crazy. Zach Wilson, 1 for 1. Dang. That is interesting. Let's look at the receptions. So the top 10 guys: Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, Austin Eckler, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Chris Godwin, Davante Adams, Michael Pittman Jr., top 10. Bonus: Devonta Smith, 11. DK at 12. AJ Brown, 13. Jamar, 14. TJ Hawkinson, 15. Wow, that's really good. Christian McCaffrey made the top 20. Deontay Johnson was in the top 16. He finished 16th in receptions, but he had 0 touchdowns. He's the only guy in the top 16 who didn't have a touchdown. Deontay, he finished 16th as well in targets. That's just crazy. I mean, he didn't do very well in terms of catch percentage, which, isn't, hugely surprising. But, man, that's the only good news about this Deontay Johnson debacle is that at least he can, he can't do any worse than last year. That's all you can take away from this, is that he finished 16th in receptions, 16th in targets. He didn't do great in yards. However, 0 in touchdowns. He can vastly improve in that. These numbers are very improvable. they should have a better offense this year. Hopefully he can do better, but you know, I don't know. We'll see. I'm expecting at least 5. So Michael Pittman was the only player to be in the top 10 receptions, but not have 100 receptions. So that's interesting. Davante Adams had 100 receptions. Chris Godwin had 104 receptions. That's pretty good. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 106. Austin Eckler, that's huge, to have 107. Travis Kelce finished as a top 3 receiver as a tight end. He is not a tight end. He's a receiver. That's like undeniable evidence right there. That's really good. 128 for Justin Jefferson. Crazy. The fact that the top 2 guys within receptions and targets didn't have more than 10 touchdowns is like a joke. Tyreek Hill had some quarterback trouble, and honestly, I believe Justin Jefferson has a little bit of quarterback trouble too. Although obviously he's connecting a lot with Kirk Cousins, but 8 touchdowns? Are you kidding me? He's the best. He's the best wide receiver in the league, but he's under 10 touchdowns. Come on, Vikings, get it done. Get him more touchdowns. Devontae Smith, wow, what an up-and-coming guy. 95 receptions, beat out fellow wide receiver A.J. Brown. 5 away from 100. Almost had 1,200 yards, 7 TDs. That Eagles offense really turned it on this year. He's going to be better. He's gonna get over 100. He'll have more than 10 touchdowns the next year. I believe it. Jamar Chase, already talked about him a little bit. 87 receptions in 12 games. Look at this. He's the only, besides like Chris Godwin started 13 games but played in 15. That was the lowest besides Jamar Chase, and he legit only played in 12. So to do this, he has so much more to offer fantasy owners next year. Ramondre Stevenson, he really came on this year. Turn on the Jets. Look, he only started 7 games, but he had 69 receptions, 420 yards, 1 TD. Gotta do better in that department. Ramondre Stevenson had 69 receptions. Cool. Only player too. That should be a award itself. Andre Hopkins, wow. Only played 9 games, had 96 targets. That's average of calculator.com. Who even needs a calculator.com? It should have an app. Actually, that's pretty good. A little bit off topic, but look at that. They have enough to get ad space from Ashley Furniture. Good for them. Alright, well, doing my math homework. Okay, sorry, getting off topic. What was it? 64? 64 in 9 games. Jeez, still a boss. 7.1 receptions a game. That's pretty beast. That's really good.